What would it take for you to walk out of the door of your house with nothing, run through violence on the streets, and then walk to another country with no food, property, or money? To a place that is already desperately poor, where you don't speak the language. What terror would have to happen for you to do all this, leaving your 3-year-old daughter behind?
Horrifying accounts of human rights abuses continue to emerge from Ethiopia's northern Tigray region.
Reports of atrocities and food shortages.
The UN says without significant help, things could deteriorate.
دم كفيلة نسلت وسحبت My name is Hafton Kidu. When I was in my country, I was leading my life in good way. Just when the war is happened, I came here as refugee people. I don't have a full information about my family. They are in life or they are died. So in case of this one, yeah, I came here alone.
In late 2020, war broke out in Ethiopia's Tigray region. Tens of thousands of people, like Haftam, fled to camps in Sudan, where they remain, with no prospect of going home. More than 1 million people are displaced inside Ethiopia, and propaganda from both sides makes it hard for outsiders to know what's going on. Phone and internet service has also mostly been cut in Tigray, and roads are often closed. When we travel through Tigray in mid-2021, families tell us they collected the bodies of civilians from the streets and buried them in mass graves. They say their homes and businesses have been looted. Hospitals are full of war injured, including children as young as 4. Gabre is a farmer who owns a little bit of land and 2 cows in a town that has been fought over for months. After what he says was a massacre of civilians, it took him 3 weeks to get his daughter to this hospital. Almost all the healthcare centers in Tigray have been damaged, destroyed, or looted. Every parent we speak to here says the same thing. Their children barely survived. But they did survive. So many other children did not. Families that managed to flee across the border in early 2021 are scattered, and most refugees we meet in the camps have missing loved ones.
The hardest are the people which have not like family, like their fathers, like their mothers, like their sisters, their brothers. They leave some guys alone, you know. They eat, but they think about their family. Maybe some of them they die. When they think about them, they become sad.
This boy does not know where his family is.
My father is my father. They go to bring my brother.
تجازنا شديد ومسفرة تجازنا أنا بتدحر تجازي وأمر كبرس ينير تجيب المسار أنا بعين زراخوا ها سميتو أموران دبل عري
Michaela Haftu was an artist in Tigray before he escaped with his pregnant wife and small daughter.
እቲ መዳፍዕ ንኣርባዕተ መዓልቲ ምስ ወዓለ ሎሚ ጠጠው ይብል ጽባሕ ጠጠው ይብል እንተበልና ጠጠው ይበለን ብድሕሪኡ ጽልምት ምስ በለ ጸልማት ምስ ኮኖም መዳፍዕ ክትኩሱ ይኽእሉን እዮም ብድሕሪኡ ሙሉእ ለይቲ ምስ ኣዛብዕ ምስ ኣትማን ምስ ጥንቅር በዒት እናተደፋእና ምስ ጫካታት እናተደፋእና ሞጥ ንስቲ ሰበይቲ ሒዘ ልክዕ ምስ ተጓዓዝና ደኺማትኒ ብጣዕሚ ሕምዋ ከዓ ደቂስና ኣታቶም ምስሮ ክፉ ኢና ርኢና ክባታተኑ ከለዉ ንሪኦም ኣለና እምበረን ዝዛረባ ነራ ቡም እያ ትብል እዚኣ ንባዕላ ቡም ሕመረ ፌሽኑ
abilisin እንታይ ተፈጢሩ
In the rush to escape the war, other parents we meet lost their children.
شمي زفافته بعد زنبرو لبوتا بعخر سراح تمرتن زمصخلو حمارة ختامة نس سراح لمدي أو ستور ويكعا أو انتي زبهر نبرت كفلي تمرت درجة ديجري لمزون تمرقت نيرة بأكاونتي and finance.
When Zafu was awarded a scholarship, her husband was angry that she would pursue her education and abandoned her. So Zafu left her daughter in Bakar with her mother while she studied and worked to support them.
أنا قلت نتمرتي قبل كقولت فلي بزترخونا يجزي مرة حقوس تهون نع أخذ الكعزة جورة نجارت يلا نبع خربة هم مكيرة ناوقالي نبع خربة كيرة جن أبع خر كبير مسارة غيره نقول لهم المام يتحد وتادر أو يوم نيرو بتعمل شجر يوم نيرو أفتش ساعات نا أي فكرة كنينا خالي لهم كل كلامنا مكينا يلا ولا سوي له كل وقت أتاهينه برجع كون بقرون أتيهم بتيون مستأتاتو تم زتخار كلهم جزء أي صدقني حزم نبوات أم بقى عاوي بتعمل حمرة ونسلز دبداب سمسوزها تم سو جزء عزم نمسون نحمدايت من مكرشين ورنن بناتهم يسقع حمدايت سلست معلتي بناتهم مقبئ أني أنت غد نعمتي دوكمنتو نيت مرتين نسرحينو نعمصح أنا بيني أحكم إذن كفتم زولركم حدا سوي مسألة مالتي بتعمل صقام سلزنا هذا أفتش ساعات متقللاش زدت هذا هم كل جزء نيري نقبي أبيني سكاح مش مع تخيل أهو ما كده قبرت عادي
Every person has his own ambition. He needs to be successful. He need to lead his life in the best way. But when he gets setback like this war, when he maybe lose his lovers, his girlfriend, his family, his friends, his mother, his fathers, it become hopeless. Just he does not care about his life. Even when he going to be die, he don't care. Even Zarad's child is like a baby under 1 year old. They do not get enough water, even enough food. They may be sick, no one can give for some treatment in the hospitals. When I look like this one, I feel sad, Just I don't have capacity, but if I have, I need to help them.
Christian Ethiopian refugees in Sudan celebrate the holy day of Epiphany. Ethiopia is religiously diverse, but the country's divisions are seldom blamed on religious differences. This war, and so many other conflicts in Ethiopia, is between ethnic groups, or perhaps more accurately, as locals often explain, between powerful men who use ethnic divisions to stoke conflict and gain power. Johannes Nagusa is a priest who fled Tigray as bombs exploded near his home in Humera. But in Aksum, the city believed to be the birthplace of Christianity in Ethiopia, locals tell us it is terror, not weakness, causing the chaos. Hundreds of people were killed in Aksum as Ethiopian and Eritrean forces swept through the region. Locals told us varying details about what happened, ranging from mass shootings to house raids. Consistent in every person's story, however, were descriptions of so many bodies. Amnesty International later described what happened in Aksum as possible crimes against humanity. Tigray has endured many other war crimes, the organization also says. Thousands of civilians have been killed, and the economy is decimated. By mid-2021, famine was already underway, with fears emerging that hunger could be used as a weapon of war. And this is not the first time. In the 1980s, the world watched as war and famine ravaged Ethiopia. More than 300,000 Ethiopian refugees fled to Sudan then, most of them from Tigray. In the camps, many of the refugees are returning for the second time. As hard as it was then, they tell us, it is, in some ways, even harder now. Decades of war ended in 1991 with the toppling of a repressive military government. A Tigrayan military fighter, Melis Zenawi, emerged to lead a new government of ethnic federalism, which divided the country along ethnic lines. The Ethiopian economy grew fast, but political repression continued. Territorial disputes with neighbors, including the newly independent Eritrea, once part of Ethiopia, turned into armed conflict. Resentment grew of Tigrayans, who make up 6% of the population, but the Tigrayan elite dominated the country politically. After Melis's death in 2012, a period of unrest continued until 2018, when a young ethnic Oromo, Abiy Ahmed, rose to power. He made peace with Eritrea and instituted democratic reforms, earning him a Nobel Peace Prize the following year. But when Tigray held local elections in defiance of the central government, a simmering rift quickly escalated. In November 2020, the government accused Tigrayan forces of attacking a military base and launched an offensive. The central government, backed by Eritrean forces and Amhara militias, is fighting Tigrayan regional forces and militias. Both sides have claimed the other started the war.
Amhara people, they told for the Tigray, we are supporter of you. We are supporter of you, they told. And Tigray people, they told for the Amhara people, we are supporter of you. So when we come to this one, how they can make peace between them?
The hostility is real, but it is fueled by cyclical violence and leaders encouraging animosity for their own gain, not ancient hatreds. Tigrayan and Amhara people have lived together in peace and intermarried for as long as anyone can remember.
سبيدي أمهاري ديا أنا تقرأي هجي سبيدي ناو عدا أنت عدا استنكفا إلا كنت نبرت خليها أنا جن ناو عدا أنت عتي أنا موت مخاني رقص أني مخانا تفلت الله.
When people get to the camps in Sudan, it is often not clear how to get shelters, food, and water, or if it's available at all. Haftum rarely has extra money from the small jobs he picks up around the camps, so he tries to help people by sharing information.
I need to help. Just when I help the people, my brain it gets peace, you know. My brain it becomes in a good condition, you know. Even I believe when you good things, that good things it come back to you. If cannot be come back to me, they can be come back to my child. They can be come back to my family, even to all my countries. So helping for the people is the first interest of me.
It's a principle he's held since before the war, when he worked to improve business and agricultural practices for farmers like his parents. But finding help is especially difficult for those who are already disabled or sick, like Michaela and his wife, who are HIV positive.
مجمرة أنا سلسة معلت جرا قارص أنيرة نمر حنيت مسكين جيتها قارص أنزجا عجي ويسر الله خير.
تركب لها مقبي قالت هذا.
مقبي الله. وين هاي مسوي يمن البات حدا حجهم تبع دمائن السخاء ذهب كان حمش الميتي قال سبتي من مخنيات من نورمال مقبي يقولوا أنا يعني نهاتم من تقوم تعمل مساي مش مزيج مسجل HIV من ما يسمع معنا.
بالا يكون شرقانة يكون جلس ومسرانات جلسات يوم حق زوم نزحنا زمينا نمبر أغلى زوجين أساس روحي يكون نكع كريه خلاص من نبكع حدا حمش سبب حدا جزع أنا هم يبقاسوا أنا قلا
لا ولا من صافي لا أجي تمالا ويرك سامسلكا ها أما نيتمن أقول لهم مش تمشيت معسكر ها هذا كان يلا مش نقول متعودي ها حد راح مرة كبرت على بسكم متصاحبين
زي أبودا دو زي ولهم دكتات كلا زبل مش على organizations كما يسوي فكنا بلك عندي فكلا
ده مولي أمي
Even if he could get in, Nahom says he doesn't want to stay with an organization. He says that the children are not free to roam the camp, and he's heard they don't get enough food. Haftum takes another boy, 16, who is alone in the camp to the organization, And he too is told they have as many children as they can support.
So he has not family. They said for us. We cannot do anything now.
Even Hafton, who positions himself as someone to help the most vulnerable, sees no future for himself here in the camp, in Sudan, or in returning to Tigray.
I lose my home, even my document. Just I have already graduated. Just when I go back to my home, really I cannot get my document. Really, they already burn out. They can throw it on the road. Just that's give me like hopeless, like this, disappointed.
كاو عد سلام كويني له عن عدي أتينا أو عد أتينا أنتنا قاعد صبوا مالت تزنورنا حزنا زعتنا غيرنا تقيم مسكال زهوتنا غيرنا تقائمنا داقمين يخا عتفنا قلنا قد محجونا دي حواتا سينا كم زناتي تاريك حجونا بايتا دقيمة سلازي انت رخيبه يومون داك عزنا وزيخ متصمبر أو خنا بردنا تبلي.
World leaders have accused all parties, the Ethiopian military, the Eritrean military, and militias associated with the Tigray and Amhara parties of human rights abuses. But government forces and their allies have been accused of mass murders, forced removals, and ethnically motivated violence, including systematic mass rape. Hundreds of women and girls from across Tigray have reported being raped by soldiers. And aid workers say there are likely many, many more who have kept silent out of fear, shame, or just lack of access to any kind of health care. The stories they tell us are eerily similar. Soldiers came to their houses, demanding to know where a husband, father, or brother was, insisting he was a rebel fighter. When the man did not appear, a wife, daughter, or sister was attacked.
كاو برات حزام أبخ من الشاي برات تنسيلهم فرارحوني أنا يفلت مساحاتهم يجي يوم لما نكون هم الخدا أنا الفلت أنا قريب لك كاو عسرة روعتي مستفى يلي يدرش يفلتي كاو عسرة روعتي بقام صوته
أو بعموتو كاو تنايدا عميتهم زوال على تخخلالة كاو تماريسهم ما يلي نيرا له ما يلي حزام كخيدهم.
The Ethiopian government has arrested dozens of soldiers accused of rape, but has mostly been silent on the issue. The government has also acknowledged many other abuses, but blames Tigrayan forces, who it designated a terrorist organization. For many refugees, returning to Tigray is not an option. Some fear the conflict could even spread to the camps.
ኣብ ቴሌቪዥን በተደጋጋሚ ንሪኦ ዘለና ቶም ጀነራላት ኣብ ስደት ዘለው ብሓይሊ እውን ክንወስዶም ኢና ኣለው ደለውን እውን ኣይፍለጥን ሕጂ እውን ንሕና እውን ህይወትና ኣብ ሓደጋ ኣሎ ዓለም ሓቂ ትሰምዕ ትፈልጥ እንተኮይና መፍትሒ ትግበረልና.
Rights organizations and other leaders have called upon the Ethiopian government to hold peace talks. But the conflict continues as alarming reports of extreme hunger and famine emerge amid fears the humanitarian crisis will continue to deepen.
ካብ ዓድና ተባሪርና ካብዚ እውን በርዶ ኣብዚ እውን ክንቀተል ይፅበይና እንተ ኮይኖም ኣነ እንደ ዓለም ዓቢራ ኣላ ዓይና ማለት እዩ ክልቲኡ ዓይና የለን ማለት እዩ
الماتيوت نتيجة مسوسة دم كفيلة الناس نتوس حاجة جقالو كفيلة زم سقط سرعات تقرأ حلولي ولا بتلقى جقانو جقانو كفيلا زنسقط سرعات تجري حلولك